Grants for the month of April from $5,000 to $10,000 up to $250,000 in grants and self-employed grants. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rendy from AskRinde, and welcome to the #1 community for real estate, income, and credit. So if you'd like to know what these new grants are for the month of April, those that are expiring, they need to apply now. Make sure you watch the video to the end. Leave a comment below if you need help with anything. So we're going to be sharing with you new grants every month, from small business grants to financial assistance grants to personal grants to transportation grants to self-employed grants to multi-round grants and much more. And we're going to be updating our calendar section at my website at AskRinde.com, and you can view our calendar section for the latest updates on grants. Also, our Grants Masterclass is now open. So if you'd like to learn how to start a business that gets grants and how to properly set up a business to receive grants, make sure you join us for our Grants Masterclass by going to my website at AskRinde.com, clicking on Grants, and getting started today. Number 1, Wyandotte County, Kansas, $1,000 to $10,000 in grants. So Wyandotte County, Kansas recently announced the KCK Small Business Resiliency Program. Now these are grants from $1,000 to $10,000 for businesses that are primed for expansion as well as next level job creation. So they actually want to give these grants to companies that are looking to move to the next level, that need help with renovation costs, facade repairs, equipment purchases, inventory, marketing, etc. So this grant actually has 3 faces and 3 sides to it. It's not only a multi-round grant, but it's also a reimbursable grant as well as a matching funds grant. So there are some level of matching funds that you actually have to bring to the table if you're applying for this grant, and you need to be aware of that. So to qualify, businesses must be located within Kansas City, you must be in business more than 1 year, and your business must have less than 25 employees. Now after applying for this grant, there will be an interview to actually go over your company, your business, and what you're going to be using the funds for. So you need to be aware of that. And as I shared earlier, this is a multi-round grant, with the first round ending in the beginning of April, which is this week, and the next round starting on August 1st. So it's always great with multi-round grants to actually have your application in and be in the process, because if you don't get it on this round, you can actually get it on subsequent rounds. So to apply for this grant, you can actually go directly to their website at wykck.org. You're going to need to submit documentation from your business along with this grant to be able to actually be qualified and be considered for this grant, because as I've shared, this is actually somewhat of a restricted grant where they're looking for companies that are specifically looking for expansion, because they actually can create more jobs in the local area. And we've also included the application and additional details about this grant in our resource area at my website, AskRendy.com. Number 2, the Massachusetts Inclusive Grant Program, $75,000 in grants. So this is a big one. The Massachusetts Growth Capital Corporation is administering over $50 million in ARPA funds and relief money for small businesses. So these grants are specifically earmarked and targeting over 15,000 businesses in that area to be able to help and give them the opportunity to be able to apply for grants for $75,000 each. So this is actually a lot of money. This is one of the largest grants in the country right now for small businesses, and this is actually a good one to make sure that you are applying for. If you're a small business, you need to be applying for grants, and this is actually an excellent opportunity. So with this program and these 15,000 businesses, they're actually targeting businesses that have been historically disadvantaged and underrepresented, such as minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, and also disabled individuals. So the deadline to apply for this grant is April 4th, and you can actually apply by going directly to the Massachusetts Capital Growth website at empoweringsmallbusiness.org. This is actually a great organization to connect with because they have various grants specifically for people who are underrepresented. They also have grants for immigrants. So this is actually a good source for grants, specifically if you're in that area. And as I've shared previously here on my channel, I've actually talked to you about Massachusetts, that their grant programs, and they have some of the largest grants in the entire country. And so, you know, all grants are not equal everywhere you go. Like some states are more than others. California has some of the most grants in the entire country. So you actually need to know where grants are, and you need to know how to actually get those grants in those areas. So this is actually a good one for you to actually go after. If you're in that area and you fit the criteria, make sure you go to their website and apply right away, because the deadline for this one is April 4th. Number 3, the Kitty Fund, $500 in grants for each business. So these grants are for mom-owned businesses. And this program is from Founders First CDC. You've actually heard me talk about Founders First CDC here on my channel several times, and what they do with their Job Quest program all around the country in various pockets in the country. So this grant program is quite unique in that is in honor of Founder First CDC CEO Kim Folson's late mother, who passed away in March of 2020. Now, I must say she's doing something quite special here in actually giving to mom-owned small businesses and keeping the legacy of her mother going. It's very, very special what she's doing. This is not her first time doing it. She's actually built up. The last round that they did, they were at $250. Now they're at $500 and they're giving it to 50 recipients. So to qualify for this grant, you must be a mom-owned business with 2 employees. And it's very simple, the qualification criteria. You can actually use the money for anything. There's no restriction on what you can actually use the money for. Your business must be located within the U.S. You also must have revenues less than $5 million. And lastly and obviously, you must identify as a mom. So the deadline to apply for this grant is April 11th. You can get more information by going directly to their website at foundersfirstcdc.org/KittyFund 2022. Number 4, Alhambra, California. $5,000 in grants. So Alhambra, California is distributing $50,000 in grants to soften the effect of the pandemic on small businesses. So local small businesses can apply for $5,000 in grants to be able to help them recover, to be able to help them hire new people, to be able to help them see their way forward, market, and really just keep their doors open and continue to thrive and boost the local economy. So the grants can be used for expenses such as rent, utilities, operational costs, marketing, overhead, and much more. And to qualify, you must meet HUD's low-income criteria. You also must be a for-profit business. You also must have a DUNS number. And your business must be located in the city of Alhambra. In addition to that, you must have no city violations, and your business must have been in business for at least 6 months. If your business is actually brand new in less than 6 months, you cannot apply for this grant. And you can get more information by going directly to their website at cityofalhambra.org. There you'll be able to get all the criteria that you need to be able to submit for this $5,000 grant. Number 5, Michigan, the National Value Added Producer Grant, $75,000 to $250,000 in grants. So I actually wanted to add this grant to our grants list for this month because there's more farming going around the country. And this is actually a very good idea with what's happening with inflation and what's happening in the world today to actually learn farming and include that either in your business or your family's repertoire. And that's one of the things that we plan to do. We want to make sure that we can actually teach our children about farming, and we want to get more involved. So these are matching grants for farming and agricultural businesses, such as family farms, cooperatives, and also commodity producers. So these businesses can apply for $75,000 in grants for planning and up to $250,000 in grants for working capital. So the deadline to apply for this grant is April 25th, and you can get more information by going directly to the website at rd.usda.gov. There you'll be able to see the information on how you can apply for this grant, first for the $75,000 in planning, and subsequent, if you're going to be going for the working capital, you can actually apply for up to $250,000 in grants for working capital. Now keep in mind, these are matching grants, so there will be some match funds that will be required. Number 6, Columbus, Franklin County, Ohio, $5,000 to $10,000 in grants. So these are small business recovery grants. And Columbus, Franklin County, Ohio has about $8 million in grant funds that are being dispersed. So this is actually a new round of grants and grant disbursements. And as I shared many times, some grants actually have multiple rounds. So even though we may cite the grant and we may share about it a few months prior, there may be another round that's come up, and that's one of the reasons why you actually have to follow through. You need to connect with these grants and follow the path, specifically if you're dealing with a multi-round grant situation. So these grants actually are going to be helping small businesses recover. In this location, many of the businesses are complaining about lack of patrons, lack of customers, because some people are still afraid to go to the gym. They're still afraid to go to restaurants. They're still afraid to get out and be exposed. And so this is one of the things that's causing some of these businesses to lack recovery. They're not recovering as fast as what some may think. So these grants come in really handy when they have overhead, when they have rent that they have to pay, utilities, they have expenses and operational costs. These grants come in big because they're actually able to help them bridge, leverage forward, market more, be more efficient, basically have their business be more lean and sustain and then hire. So that's really what fuels the local economy, these small businesses. So with this particular grant program and the $8 million disbursement that they're giving out, these grants go up to $20,000. But for self-employed, they're going to be giving grants up to $5,000. And for businesses that are employers, people who actually have employees, they're giving them grants up to $10,000. So I actually did an entire video on recovery grants, and this was one of them. So you can check that out on my channel. And priority for these grants will be given to the disadvantaged and also underserved, such as minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, and also veterans. So to apply for these grants, the deadline is April 11th to April 25th. And you can get more information by going directly to their website at sbdccolumbus.com. Number 7, NAV Small Business Grant Contest, $5,000 to $10,000 in grants. So the NAV Small Business Grant Contest is currently open. And I've actually shared about this here on my channel previously. And NAV is actually a great resource for small businesses when you're looking to try to not only build business credit, but you're looking to try to get involved with expanding outside of your local area, trying to see what opportunities there are for capital, what opportunities there are for growth. This is actually a good resource. So we're actually in the open grant period, and there are 4 steps that you need to take in order to be able to apply and be considered for this grant. Number 1, you must be a NAV member. So that's either a paid member or a free member. You can actually sign up for NAV. There are free accounts available if you actually go directly to their website at nav.com. Number 2, you must fill out a form where you're going to be receiving a unique voter link. So this is actually a contest. So you're going to be receiving a unique voter link. And in order to actually go to the subsequent steps, you must fill out this form in order to be able to receive via email that unique voter link. After you receive the unique voter link, then for step 3, they want you to create a social media post and post to Facebook, Instagram, as well as LinkedIn. So they actually want you to include your unique voter link in the bio of your Instagram. They actually also want you to post the hashtag NAV Small Business Grant, because this helps their judges and it helps their staff to be able to see that you actually have posted. They also want you to be able to share a little bit more about your business and talk about why you need the money and what you would need the money for. Now, the next step, in step 4, is that they actually want you to share your posts. So in essence, they're looking to try to see how they can actually syndicate this. They want to get the word out, and they want to leverage and use you guys to be able to spread it. So this is actually the 4 steps that you need to do to be able to actually be considered for these grants. Now, as I mentioned, this is a grant contest with $10,000 going to the grand prize winner and $5,000 to the runner-up. So the deadline to apply for this grant is April 23rd. And you can get more information by going directly to their website at nav.com, where you'll be able to see all the information on what you need to be able to submit and follow the steps and to be able to get your unique voter link. So make sure you actually get involved. NAV is a good source to be connected with, and make sure that you apply for this grant immediately. There's a lot of people who are applying for this, so it will be very, very competitive. Number 8, the AskRinde pop-up grant, $500 to $700 in grants. So our pop-up grants are still open and going. We're still intaking and receiving applications. This is a grant for everyone. Everyone and anyone can apply for this grant. There's no restrictions. You don't have to have a business. This is actually a grant that's for everyone and anyone. Anyone can apply for this grant. You can actually use the money for personal reasons. You can use the money for whatever it is that you're currently in need of. And we've had our pop-up grant open for a little bit over a month now. And there are many people who are applying for this grant. So I'm really excited about that I can actually use this medium to be able to give back, to be able to give to you all, and to be able to be a blessing to someone else. As I've shared previously, the reason why we're doing is my mom and I wanted to be a blessing. Very simple, no strings attached. There's no fees, there's no hidden gimmick, there's nothing else to it. This is something that we're freely just giving to people. We're really just trying to be a blessing where we can. And you can easily apply for our pop-up grant by going directly to my website at AskRinde.com, scrolling to the grant section and clicking on Apply Grant. There you'll see a form where you can actually fill out your information and submit your information to be considered for the grant. So we hope that you actually win the grant, and we want to be a blessing. We want to hopefully help others so that they can actually help others, and that's our way of paying it forward. So we look forward to seeing you inside. Make sure you actually submit and get your information to us so that you can be considered for the pop-up grant, and you'll automatically be enrolled and rolled over for our grant program, which is $1,000 and more in grants. So these are some of the grants that we have for the month of April. We weren't able to do all of them as we don't want to keep the video too long. So if you actually like to get access to more grants, you can actually go to our website at AskRinde.com and click on grants. Get started by going to our resource area. We have a plethora of grants, thousands of grants in there from all around the country, for personal, for business, for all types of grants, for transportation, real estate, you name it, we have it in there. We also actually have more details on how to actually get started in grants in our Grants Masterclass. So if you're looking to start a business so you can actually get grants, if you're looking to try to see how you can establish your business and set your business up properly to be able to receive grants on an ongoing, recurring basis like we do, you can actually also join us for our Grants Masterclass, where we teach you not only our grant formula, but we teach you how to properly set up. It's very important for you to not just establish your business and work hard for money, work hard to be able to build a business when there are grants available. There's monies available to be able to help you do that. Getting an infusion of $10, $20, $30, $40,000, even $5,000 or less, it helps because it's one step further to your dream becoming a reality by getting help. So that's one of the reasons why we actually have our own grant program, because we want to be a blessing. And members of our network and members of our academy are actually being blessed. People are actually making six figures. They're building business sales, which we help them with. They're also getting grants at the same time all around the country. So get involved, get connected with us, because we are connected and we want to actually help you get to where you need to be. Because when we strengthen you, you're going to actually strengthen others, and we grow and we continue to expand. So we look forward to actually seeing you inside the masterclass. If you'd like to actually get involved and build your business and learn more about grants and how to get grants consistently. And in addition to that, get connected to us with the academy and also the network by going to my website at AskRendy.com. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. You can also email us. My email address is AskRendyNetwork@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Till next time, thank you so much for watching.